This farm was started in 1803. I'm the 8th generation working on the same family farm. I think one of the most unique things right now is the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and the 10th generation are all here working, and long days in the summer, maintaining, getting the crop ready for the fall. In the fall, it's long days in harvest. Through the winter, we have to come in, and all these trees around you that you see all have to be pruned and cut back, so that's what we do in the winter. And then we got all the fruit that we harvest that have to be packed and taken out to the people to be bought. This is the beginning, and this is where the packing system starts. Craig brings the apples in from the field. They go in the bins, and this is a float tank where we float them out, a bin dump, and they submerge them, the bins. The apples float out. They go up the grading belt. What is happening here, they're coming off here, they go onto these brushes where they're all brushed and cleaned, and then they come down here and a very, very fine coat of a paraffin organic wax is put on, and they go into the drying tunnel where that wax is dried and seals the apple and helps keep it fresh. This is called the singulator. It takes all the apples as it comes out, singulates them, they go into the cups. They go into this black box where it takes an x-ray of every apple so that we get the size, the color, any defects, and it'll determine where this apple is going to end up further down the line. And we can take an inside picture of the apple and determine if that apple's bad or good, and so we can get rid of them so you don't get a bad apple when you buy them. Technically, we can keep track of every single apple we pack in a day. We used to do everything by eye. The packer would pick it up, look at it, and then determine where it went. Now the computer does most of the work, creates much more higher efficiency. Those are the bagging tables down there where they're bagging 5-pound max today. Down here are cell packs where they come out in trays, and they'll be labeled. This is a 163 pack. It goes out to the schools for the school kids. In another 3 weeks, we'll be packing 4 or 5 or 6 varieties in a day. All the labels have to be swapped, because, you know, the label comes out now, it says 163 Macintosh. You know, you'd have to change this to Gala. And this has every packer's name on it, so we know who packs every box, and we can track it with a date and a time. Those are cider apples. Those will be made into cider.
The pressing process is basically the same thing for both sweet cider and hard cider. When I got out of college and came back to the farm, I got us into hard cider after a couple of years of convincing the rest of the family we needed to do that commercially. So in the cider room, we start the apples at the dip tank over here. We put them into the water bath, onto the brushes. That gets pumped over to the mash tank. The mash tank holds it until the press is ready, because when the press wants it, it takes just about that entire tank at once. And it's squeezing the juice out of the apples. The juice runs out into the surge tank through one of the 2 UV machines to the red tank or the silver tank. We're using the red tank today. From there it'll be pumped up to make batches to mix in the preservative and run it to the line. All kinds of stuff in here. This here's a cross-flow filter. It's standard in winery technology for filtration. That's how we get the cider crystal clear for the hard cider and the carbonated sweet ciders. We blend different filtered ciders together to make the different ones, and then we'll also add back sweetening and the different flavors at that time. We have a tank room with 30,000 gallons of capacity, so when apples are plentiful in the late fall, we try to make sure all the tanks are full, and then we take some of that and blend it with apples that we press coming out of storage with the controlled atmosphere storages to have it year-round.
This is called the Controlled Atmosphere Room, CA. In the fall, we fill this room right full of apples. This room will hold about 5,000 bushel. We'll pull this room down to about 2.5, 3, somewhere under 5% oxygen. We can put the apple to sleep and keep it all the way to spring, so it's almost exactly like it was when we picked it off the tree.
Go from underneath.
There you go.
Nice.
You know, when I was a kid, we didn't have pick your own. We didn't have a farm stand. Everything we did was for a commercial grower.
Yeah, we'll take one bag.
Now we invite you to come to the farm, enjoy what we have up here. We have everything so you can come up and see what it's actually like to be on a farm. And that's one of the things that's helped us survive, you know, is the pick your own. You get to come pick the fruit off the tree. I think it's important that you get to bring your family and friends up to actually experience a farm, and it's a true farm. It's a working farm, and it's our way to try to pass this on to the next generation and keep farming viable in Maine.